Alright guys, I want to make sure you're really getting good at this factoring business. So let's start off with one like we did yesterday, and then we're going to add just a little bit more things to look for to even simplify it for yourself. So I am going to start with the evens from today's homework assignment. So we have n squared plus 6n plus 8. So remember, I'm looking at the constant and writing the factors. 1 and 8, 2 and 4, and that's pretty much it, right? So how could we make it positive? Well, we could either way we're combining them. So which one of these would combine to 6? Good, and it's a positive 6, so we are going to keep them both positive. And this time, for today's homework assignment, they want you to write the least terms first. So you're going to put the binomials in order from least to greatest. So we're going to write the x plus 2 first and x plus 4 second. Okay, so that's what you're going to put in for number 14. This time we're ordering from least to greatest. Now for number 16, after I write this down, I notice as I'm writing this down, these three terms all have something in common. What factor do 5, 10, and 20 have in common? 5, right? They're all multiples of 5. So we could take 5 out right away. If I took 5 out of here, I'd be left with n squared. If I took 5 out of here, I have 2n, right? 10 divided by 5 is 2. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So this helps me right away to simplify it even more. So that is why when you're looking at your homework on the answer sheet, those ones are denoted by take out a number factor first. So now if I am this is number 16, right? Now if I'm simplifying this, or factoring it rather, I have the 4, right? So 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. And neither of those can be combined to make 2, right? We could say these would combine to make 5 and these would combine to make 4. So we cannot factor this any further. So that is as far as you're going to go there. And so be careful with this one when you put it in. It says add 1 space after the exponent to indicate what follows is not part of the exponent. So when you're putting this in, you would put 5 and then n and then your caret and then 2, and then you're going to put a space here. And then you're like plus 2n plus 4, and then close your parenthesis when you're putting that in for your Google Sheet there. I know the formatting can sometimes be tricky. Okay, so that was a trick right off the bat, right? Once we found that we couldn't make these add up, we had to leave it in that form. It couldn't be factored any further, but we were able to factor a 5 out. Now, 18, sorry, didn't mean to be so shaky. A squared minus a minus 90. Oh my. So I'm going to write out the factors of 90. 1 and 90, 2 and 45, 3 and 30, 4 and 15, I think. No. Does 4 go into that? No, 4 does not go into that. 5 goes into it 18 times. Does 6 go in? $15 times. 8, no. 9 goes in 10 times, and so that must be the end because there's nothing between 9 and 10. All right, so we need a negative number, which means we have to subtract these numbers somehow to make 1. So 90 minus 1, definitely not. 45 minus 2, 43. 30 minus 3, 27. Nope, still not to 1, right? 18 minus 5, 13. 15 minus 6 is 9, so still not there. Oh, 10 minus 9 is 1, but we want it to be negative, which means we have to make our bigger number negative. So remember, when we're writing these, however, we want our least number first. So x plus 9 times x minus 10. So here are our factors. To make it negative, our bigger number had to be negative. Dun, 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 dun. Right? And they had to be different in order for our last constant to be negative. Number 20. 5v squared minus 30v plus 40. So what's another thing you notice right away as you're writing it down? We can take 5 out of here too, can't we? So if I divide that by 5, I'm left with v squared. If I divide that by 5, I have 6v. If I divide this by 5, I have 8. So if I were to multiply this through, right, 5v squared, negative 30v, and 40. Now I'm looking at my 8 and writing the factors of that, right? 1 and 8. I'm just going to kind of box that over there. 2 and 4. And that's it again. So they need to add up to 6. So these add up to 6 and they add up to negative 6. So if I make them both negative, this will be negative and this will stay positive. So I'm writing them in least to greatest form. But we can't forget about this 5. This 5 is also part of that factoring. So in number 20, you should see next to there that it says take out a number factor first. So we did. And this is how we would write our answer, right? Awesome. All right, time for one more maybe. 22. So 4v squared minus 4v minus 8. So first thing I notice is that they're all multiples of 4. So I'm going to take that out right away. V squared minus v minus 2 here. So then my multiples of 2 are just 1 and 2. So 2 minus 1 would give me a 1, and I want it negative. So I would write x plus 1, x minus 2, because I wanted my bigger number to be negative so that when I combined them, I would have a negative 1. Oh, and you know what? You guys, I need you to yell at me. I'm so used to x's. Look what I did. Like, through this whole thing pretty much. Holy cowabunga. This is an x, this is n. This is an x, this is a. I've lost my mind. This is an x, this is v. The only time I did it was with our second one somehow. Okay, well, glad we fixed it now, right? So, don't forget that it's also all being multiplied by 4. So this would be your final answer for 22. Okay? All right. Have a fantastic day. Make sure you give those other ones a try and get this fun pixel art done.